Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing part 4 in our modesty series. Today is about modesty and the men. Before we get started on this, I want to pray for it, and then I'm going to, of course, give my standard disclaimer in all of this, alright? First, let's pray. God, thank you for another day. Thank you for making both men and women in your image. Thank you for giving us eyes to see, ears to hear, the gifts of discernment and wisdom. Thank you for giving us guidance through the Bible and just through your word and your presence. Please help this video be all of you and none of me. Help me address the issues that need to be addressed and hopefully encourage the people who are watching this. I ask these things in Jesus Christ's name. Alright, so today we're talking about modesty and the men, okay? So this is, going to be projected towards men. Women can watch it as well. I also have to disclaim, of course, that I am not a man, and so this is completely from a feminine perspective, okay? Now, if any men want to chime in down in the comments on your perspectives on things, what you see, what do you think about what I'm saying, by all means, I will respond to as many of them as I can. Alright, so let's start with the part where modesty is usually an issue that people associate with women. But modesty equally applies to the men. Okay? That's something that a lot of people don't really talk about, but it's true. So usually the things that go along with this are that men are visual creatures and so women should be more modest, okay? But if you take anything from this video, take this. Women are also visual creatures, probably not to the extent that men are. I can't say one way or the other because I am not a man, so I do not have a male's perspective on this. But women are also visual creatures. So for the men, I would encourage you also to think about modesty in your wardrobe, okay? And this is going to look different, of course, than it is for women. But for men, let's face it, if you are out and about in a pair of pants that is like 2 sizes too small and is, hugging your bits as much as women's pants hug their behinds, then you are being just as immodest as the women are. And women are going to be visually drawn to the things that are outlined, okay? It's a thing. There are also men out there who wear shirts that are like a size or two too small that, kind of accentuate all the muscles and the things, which, I get it. People wear it because they want to look good and stuff. But again, it's also a thing where you are affecting women in the same way that women affect men by wearing those sorts of things. So if a woman is wearing things that are showing off her boobs, her backside, and it's affecting men visually, you also have to think that men who are showing off their muscles, showing off their genitals, their backsides, it's also going to affect women in a similar fashion, maybe not to the same intensity and extent, but you are also going to be encouraging women to lust after you the same way women are by proxy encouraging you to lust after them by what they are wearing, okay? So, for example, when I go to a beach or something in the summertime and there are women wearing bikinis, there are also men wearing Speedos or, board shorts are a much better choice, in my opinion, but wearing things that are just as immodest, and yet it's usually the women that are called out for this and not the men. I'm not doing this, again, to shame anybody or to, judge anyone. I am stating this simply as more or less a public service announcement, I guess, in a way, that yes, man, we are affected the same way that you are affected when you see a woman dressed in a very immodest way, okay? So the men should also be thinking equally about what they are wearing and how it is affecting other people, because the way you dress is the way little kids are going to be looking at you and seeing how to dress, okay? And I do understand that most stores these days let's just say it's very hard to find modest clothing, or clothing that, is a little looser in areas. This is why I personally go to thrift stores and estate sales and stuff. So I do understand that. But in effect, men ought to understand that you're affecting women the same way. Besides the fact of affecting women the same way, you also have a big influence on the way women dress. Because most women, if they're looking for the attention of a male, they are going to dress in a way that they think will attract the male, okay? So if you as a man are choosing women to date or to court, things like that, based on how much skin they're showing, if you automatically gravitate towards the one who is showing off way more than the one who is a bit more on the modest side, then you are projecting that standard, and you are affecting other people by your choices. So not just the woman that you are choosing to date, but the women around her who see that, okay, the guy is going for the one who's scantily clad, then they're automatically going to start thinking in their own minds, hey, this is the only way to get a guy, is to wear less, or wear things that are a little bit more low cut or a little bit higher in the back. So as men, I want to encourage you as a woman to think about your choices and the way you dress and who you are dating, because your choices do affect everyone around you just as much as women's choices do, okay? So, like, in retrospect, if you think about it, the way women choose to go after the bad boys versus the nice guys, it makes a lot of guys think that, oh, I should, be more like the bad guys in order to get women. It's that same thing, but in the opposite way for how women dress. So if you're choosing women who are dressed very provocatively, and those are the ones you're choosing, even if you're a male going to church, and in the church you are still just choosing the women who are dressing provocatively instead of the ones who are actually dressing modestly, you are, in a way, encouraging those who are dressing modestly to dress immodestly, if that makes sense. I hope it does. Talking myself in circles here. But that is just something that I wanted to put out there. Again, if you're a male and you have specific comments on this, by all means, throw them down in the comments section. I will get to them when I have time. But yeah, I just wanted to say it. God creates us perfectly, male and female. And this is just as much of a men's issue as it is a women's issue. That's my public service announcement, I guess, for the day. Alright, I hope this has blessed you in some way. Again, if you have any comments or whatever, leave them down below. I'll take a peek. Bye, guys.